99% of men miss this. It's not a trick. It's not a line. It's something ancient. Something women feel before they hear a single word. And when you do it right, she doesn't just notice you, she feels you. But here's the truth. Most men think giving more gets more. In reality, that energy pushes her away. There's a quiet truth every man discovers, usually too late. Women don't fall for what you say. They fall for the calm you bring, the space you hold, and the power you don't need to prove. In this video, we'll uncover why chasing kills attraction and why the Stoic man draws her in, not by force, but by presence. Stay till the end, because this insight will flip the script on how you approach women forever. And if you're ready to become the kind of man she can't ignore, subscribe to Stoic 95, where modern dating meets timeless Stoic power. Secret 1. The paradox of value. We live in a world where scarcity creates magnetism. The rarest metals are more precious than sand, not because they sparkle more, but because they are harder to find. This principle governs everything in life, including how women perceive men. Let's be brutally honest. What's always there, always giving, always available, starts to feel invisible. It's not that she's cruel, it's not that she's playing games. It's that human nature is wired to ignore what doesn't challenge us. When a man floods a woman with constant attention, texts her every hour, validates her every move, and shows no space between his world and hers, he unknowingly teaches her to see him as common. And deep down, we don't value what feels common. This isn't about pretending to be unavailable. It's about knowing that your energy, time, and presence are sacred currencies, and not everyone deserves unlimited access to them. The Stoics weren't concerned with being liked. They were concerned with being aligned, with reason, nature, and their inner compass. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Your soul takes on the color of your thoughts. If your every move is driven by fear of losing her, your soul becomes colored by scarcity. You become reactive, needy, and dependent. But the Stoic man knows his worth doesn't rise or fall based on someone else's attention. He's not cold, he's measured, he gives without losing himself. Because when you give too much too fast, you don't come across as generous, you come across as someone trying to buy worth. And here's the hard truth, if you don't value your own presence, why should she? Secret 2. Neediness is a signal. Neediness is invisible to you, but loud to her. It's in the double texts you think are just being clear. It's in the instant replies, the cancelled plans, the restless waiting for her to validate your worth. With a few blue check marks, and every time you do it, you send a silent but powerful signal. I have nothing more important than you. But here's the truth. Women don't want to be the sun that your whole world orbits around. They want a man who stands like a mountain, not swayed by wind, not desperate for light, but solid, still, and rooted. A man who chooses her, not one who needs her. Because when a woman feels your emotional self-worth is outsourced to her responses, she senses weakness, no matter how nice, kind, or caring you seem on the surface. The Stoics taught us to master the self, not deny it. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Your time, your purpose, your emotional clarity, those are yours. You don't give them away hoping to win someone's affection. You offer them from a place of abundance, not lack." So ask yourself, are you texting her because you're interested, or because you need her reply to feel okay? Are you canceling your gym, your grind, your goal, just for a chance she might give you attention? If so, you're not in a relationship. You're a satellite spinning endlessly around someone else's gravity. The man she desires doesn't orbit. He builds his own world, and if she wants in, it's because that world feels powerful, stable, and rare. Secret 3. The illusion of effort. There's a silent trap men fall into. one that looks noble on the surface but quietly erodes your power. It's the belief that if you just try harder, she'll finally see your worth. That if you text first, plan more, give more, sacrifice more, she'll reciprocate with the love you're starving for. But here's the cold truth. Attraction doesn't respond to desperation. It responds to presence. You can't work your way into a woman's heart like you punch a clock for a paycheck. What you think is effort often reads as emptiness. That nice guy energy, the one where you're always available, constantly checking in, overthinking every word, it screams, I need your validation to feel like a man. And deep down, she feels it. Not consciously, maybe, but in her body, in her gut. She senses a man who's lost his center. The harder you try to impress her, the more she feels you're trying to fill a void within yourself. And no woman wants to be the thing that holds you together. She wants to be invited into a life that's already full. Remember what Marcus Aurelius wrote. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. The Stoic man doesn't perform. He doesn't chase. He radiates. He walks into the room and his silence speaks louder than words. His actions are few, but they land with weight. He doesn't seek to be liked. He simply lives in alignment with his values. That's why he doesn't need to win her over. He knows what flows naturally is already yours and what doesn't was never meant to stay. So next time you're tempted to overextend yourself in the name of love, stop and ask, am I giving from overflow or am I begging for approval? That one question can save you years of heartbreak and return you to your throne. Secret 4. Silence as power. When she pulls away, the world seems to tilt for most men. Panic sets in. The urge to text, call, explain, anything to bridge the distance feels unbearable. But here's the hard truth. Chasing after her only tightens the grip of the very thing you fear losing. Your dignity, your calm, your sense of self. This is where the difference between a boy and a man shows up. The Stoic man stands still. He doesn't run after fading shadows. He watches. He listens. Not just to the words she says, but to the silent language of her actions, the subtle clues in her energy. Imagine a moment when she asks for space. Your instinct might scream, why? What did I do wrong? But the Stoic understands something deeper. Granting space isn't withdrawal, it's a gift. Not a punishment to make her miss you, but a shield you raise to protect your own peace of mind. This silence you hold isn't emptiness. It's presence turned inward, a quiet fortress of strength. Marcus Aurelius said, nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. In that space you don't lose her, you find yourself. Here's the emotional core. Men who beg, plead, or scramble for attention become forgettable. They vanish into noise. But the man who stands firm in silence becomes unforgettable. Why? Because silence commands respect. It shows that your value isn't dependent on her approval or proximity. Boys crave attention. Men earn respect by holding their ground, by mastering themselves rather than circumstances. This is the silent power, the unshakable presence that turns hesitation into attraction, distance into longing. In that silence, you are not lost, you are found. Secret 5. Detachment attracts respect. Detachment is often misunderstood. It's not about being cold or indifferent. It's about seeing things clearly, without getting lost in the noise of emotions or desires. When a man practices true detachment, he's not shutting off his feelings, he's mastering them. He's choosing freedom over desperation, clarity over confusion. This kind of detachment creates space, not distance. It allows a man to engage fully, but without losing himself in the outcome. Think about a man who's deeply invested in a relationship, yet holds no chains to it. He can walk away, not because he doesn't care, but because he respects himself too much to beg for love or validation. Imagine this. You meet someone amazing, but instead of clinging to every sign or reaction, you keep your composure, your dignity. You show strength by not clinging, by standing firm in your own worth. That's magnetic. That's the silent language women feel before they even hear your words. They sense a man who is whole, who isn't desperate for their approval. That kind of energy commands respect effortlessly. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." A Stoic man isn't attached to how things should turn out. He carries his own inner fortress, steady, calm, unshaken. This detachment is not weakness, but the ultimate strength. It means you are not a slave to your desires or fears. You bring your wholeness to the relationship, not your neediness. And that is the line that separates the average man from the exceptional one. Because when a man isn't desperate to hold on, he becomes the man others want to hold on to. Secret 6. Mystery creates magnetism. There's a raw, primal truth every man must face. When she knows everything about you too soon, the spark fades fast. Mystery is not about playing games or building walls. It's about preserving the sacred space inside you that invites curiosity, respect, and desire. Think of mystery as the uncharted territory of your soul, a part that only the patient, the worthy, and the attentive can explore. When you spill every detail on day one, that territory disappears, leaving nothing to discover, nothing to chase. And without discovery, attraction turns into boredom. Imagine meeting someone who instantly shares their whole life story, their fears, their dreams, their past heartbreaks, all within the first few days. On paper, it sounds honest and open, but in reality, it overwhelms the connection. It pushes the other person into a role they're not ready for. The judge, the therapist, or worse, a passerby who feels they've seen it all. I've seen guys burn through potential relationships by trying too hard to be understood immediately, only to find themselves ignored a week later. The truth is, attraction thrives on a slow burn, a gradual unveiling that makes each conversation feel like a new chapter, a new layer peeled back. This is where Stoicism teaches us a powerful lesson about control and restraint. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth, by which no one was ever truly harmed." But more than just seeking truth, the Stoic man knows the value of self-mastery and timing, revealing himself deliberately, not out of fear or arrogance, but out of wisdom. He understands that what's easily understood is easily dismissed. Like a quiet river beneath a storm, his calm presence commands attention without shouting for it. He's clear but never fully exposed, inviting her to earn her place, to explore deeper, to become part of something rare. So here's the emotional punch. If you give her everything on day one, you give her no reason to stay. If you reveal yourself like an open book too fast, you risk becoming forgettable. But if you hold back, if you remain that calm, steady enigma, you become unforgettable. You become the man she thinks about at night, the one she wonders about, the one who stands apart from the crowd. This is not manipulation. This is honor. This is presence. This is the power of mystery that creates true magnetism. Secret 7. Purpose over pursuit. Too many men waste their energy chasing after a woman's approval, believing that their worth depends on her validation. But here's the hard truth. Chasing her is nothing more than a distraction from the real prize, your purpose. When you put all your focus on pursuit, you lose sight of what truly drives you, what makes you feel alive, and what sets your soul on fire. A man without purpose is like a ship without a rudder, endlessly drifting, vulnerable to every wave of doubt and rejection. Purpose isn't just about goals or ambition, it's the foundation of your identity, the reason you get up every morning, with fire in your chest. Think about it like this. Have you ever met a man who is deeply committed to his mission? Someone who wakes up early, works hard, and moves through life with unwavering direction? That man is magnetic, not because he's trying to impress anyone, but because he's rooted in something far greater than fleeting attraction. I remember a friend of mine who, after years of failed relationships, finally stopped chasing women and started building his own business. Within months, not only did his confidence skyrocket, but the right people, both friends and partners, began to gravitate toward him naturally. His purpose wasn't just his work, it was his energy, his identity. And that energy made him irresistible. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." The message is clear. Instead of chasing external approval, focus on becoming the man you know you are meant to be. A Stoic man doesn't ask, "Does she like me?" He asks, "Am I living in truth?" Because when you live authentically, with purpose and integrity, the right people, whether in love or life, will always notice. It's not about forcing connection, it's about embodying a presence so powerful and real that others are drawn to it. So, stop chasing illusions. Chase your purpose. Become the man whose life is a beacon and watch how love finds you. The unmovable center. Your value isn't measured by how desperately you chase after someone. It's revealed in the strength it takes to remain calm, grounded, and unshaken while waiting. The world around you might rush, scramble, and beg for a validation, but the truly powerful man stands firm like a rock in a storm. This is not weakness or detachment. This is a quiet force, an inner fortress that no external chaos can breach. When you embody this, you show a value that's not desperate but magnetic, a value that commands respect without needing to demand it. Think about it. How often have you seen a man lose himself in the frenzy of pursuit, bending over backward, just to earn scraps of attention? It's exhausting, it's painful, and most importantly, it never creates genuine attraction. Imagine instead a man who loves with full presence, but does not surrender his essence. He's not indifferent or cold. He's simply rooted in himself. He lets her feel his absence, not as punishment, but as a testament to his self-respect. That absence creates space for curiosity, for respect, for desire. She wonders why this man is so composed, so centered, so rare in a world full of needy voices and frantic gestures. Stoicism teaches us that the wise man's power lies in his indifference to things beyond his control, like someone else's feelings or choices. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." To be stoic in love is not to shut down your heart, but to hold it with an unshakable calm, to love without losing yourself. In the process, if she returns, it won't be because you begged or chased. It will be because she recognized something authentic inside you. A man who doesn't collapse when the world shifts. A man whose presence is steady and real. A man worthy of true connection. That is the kind of man every woman senses, even if she can't put it into words. If this message hits home, if you're tired of running after what fades and ready to step into the calm, commanding energy that attracts without trying, then it's time to go deeper. Subscribe to Stoic 95, where modern men unlock ancient wisdom to master love, purpose, and self-mastery. Remember, you don't win by chasing. You win by becoming the man she can't ignore. Stay stoic, stay solid, and, above all, stay unmovable.